Alright folks, it's Nikki from Nikki's Supply Store, and for this month's Plan With Me, I'm going to show you how to make this chunky washi tape cover page. So I'm going to be using our blue cherry blossom washi tape. I know that cherry blossoms are pink, but I did a whole pink and red theme last month and I wanted to mix it up a little bit. As always, I'll make sure that there are links to everything that I use in this video in the description below if you want to have a go yourself. So I'm using this little hack for making sure I've got perfect outlines for my typography on my cover page. So after printing this out, I'm just going to grab a black wing and roughly shade on the reverse of the paper where the type has been printed. And then grab some washi and stick it to the page where I want the text to go. Now I used some washi that I had lying around on my desk. The great thing about washi tape is it's super low tack and you can reposition things really easily. I needed to do this a lot here because I changed my mind as to where I wanted it to go. And then I just need to get busy transferring the pencil from the reverse of the paper onto my bullet journal page. And I'm using a mechanical pencil for this because it gives me a really consistent, thin line to push the pencil onto the page. I think this one is a Pentel. I'll pop a link to this in the description below also, but I know that it's a 0.7mm lead and I really like how it's a little bit thicker than traditional 0.5mm mechanical pencils. Alright, so this looks like it's worked. There you go. I would never have been able to do that freehand, so this has helped a lot. Okay, now this is where it gets really fun. I get to cover all of my typography with washi tape. And the other great thing about washi that makes this method really easy is the fact that it's semi-translucent, which means that I can still see a little bit of the pencil showing through, which is going to give me my guides for cutting later on. So I'm just using a little craft knife that I have in my pencil case, and I want to make sure that my lines are straight. So I'm using a ruler as a guide for my scoring, and I'm just really lightly scoring here. I don't want to cut all the way through the paper. I just want to cut far enough through the washi tape that I'll be able to peel this off. Now I've seen folks use clever little tools to pick off washi and vinyl and that kind of thing, but I'm just using my fingers. I don't have a fancy tool and my nails work just as well, so that's going to do this time around. There's a few little bits and pieces still hanging on, so I'm just going to use my craft knife to tidy those up. It's looking pretty good so far. Before I started this cover page, I experimented with some other typefaces and I found that chunkier typefaces definitely worked better than thin ones. It just made it a lot easier to cut and peel up afterwards. But yeah, what do you think? Decided that the cover needed just a little bit something extra, so I used our pastel dot grid paper in pastel blue to cut out this like reverse negative space cloud effect. Visit from my cat. Seems to happen every time I do this. But yeah, I just stuck them along the top of the page so that it makes the bottom half sort of look like white clouds. And whenever I've used Pritt stick or something bigger to glue small sections of paper like this, they always tear, so I'm sticking to using my Sakura quickie glue pen because it's just a really good way to stick delicate bits of paper. Alright, so on to my monthly overview. I'm going to use one of my trusty Zebra Mildliner brush pens. I really like these, they're super versatile, the colours are great, and this blue matches the washi almost perfectly. So I use this page for jotting down all of the big things that are happening over the course of the month. I like to highlight my weekends in these little blocks of colour using the brush pen also. And then I'm going to use a smaller Pentel Feud brush pen, look at the size of that nib, for my headers. And this is a dark blue. I think this colour is called Blue Black. Nice alternative to using black for headers and titles. And I've got a little bit of the pastel dot grid paper left over, so I'm going to use the offcut to create some trackers for the right hand side of my month overview page. And this is an idea that I have pinched from Joy. I saw her do it on her Instagram and I just thought it was such a good idea because you get all of the boxes pre-measured out. You just need to cut them to the right size and shape for that month. So I'm going to stick these down here. And then I can use them to track some things that I need to make sure that I'm doing more often. And we're done for May's cover page and month overview. I really liked how this turned out, and I'm definitely going to use this method with the washi tape and outline for some other type, or maybe even some illustrations in the future. Alright, so if you've been here for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of morning pages. I don't do them every day, but I really like to have space in my journal to write them when I do fancy it. And this double page spread is going to be just for that. And it's just a place to write, so I want to keep it super simple. I'm going to decorate the pages with a little bit of washi, the same 3 that I used to embellish the cover page. This is the doodled branches, cherry blossom in blue, and the silver foil. And now I just need to decide where I'm going to put my header. I think right aligned is going to look good this time around. I usually always align stuff to the left, but I think this works. And then I'm going to use that Pentel Feud in blue black again for a nice cursive header for this page. Okay, so now morning pages are done. The last thing I need to set up is my first 2 weeks of weekly spreads. And I'm going to use exactly the same layout as last month because I really like how that worked. Okay, text is looking good. That's the first and the second week set up. I'll come back and do the third and fourth week later on in the month. I like doing it this way because it means there's space to add extra pages in and that kind of thing. Gives me a little bit of flexibility. Adding a little bit of the blue cherry blossom washi at the top just to finish it off and tie the spread together. I couldn't figure out what looked best here, so I kept moving things around and trying out other combos of washi to see what looked best until I was happy with it. And then for this section I actually tore this little silver piece in half. It tore really well and I've got this little sliver of silver. on the left, which I thought was really cute. Trim these excess edges off and we are good. All set up for May. Oh, apart from the dates, almost forgot them at the very end. This is a Jelly Roll 08, which is small enough to get the numbers in those tiny little boxes. And now I think we're done. If you're here, thank you so much for watching to the end. If you try out my washi tape type technique, I would love to see how you get on. If you're sharing them on Instagram, you can use hashtag Nikki's Supply Store. I'd love to take a look. Thanks again for watching, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, that'd be great too. Alright, I will see you next time.